Travel, family, presents, food, having to pay for your food, they all can cause stress during the holidays. How can you best find balance during the holidays so you are fulfilled instead of frazzled? Joining us to talk about ways to reduce holiday stress is Dr. Bill Hartman, clinical trialist at UW Health. I have to say the biggest stress in my life right now is sickness. We cannot get away from it, and I know I'm not alone out there. What are your tips and tricks for kind of keeping us parents and non-parents alike sane?
Well, so this is more of a psychological approach than a clinical trial approach, but we've looked to see how do the Danish people handle stress, because despite the fact that their winters are terrible, that they're very harsh, these generally are considered the happiest people in the world and the most stress-free. And what they do is they find ways to increase their energy so they can do the things that they enjoy. And their energy obviously isn't something that is just out there in abundance. They have to create it. And so it's by eating the right foods and doing the things that really can keep you healthy, can keep you as low stress as possible, exercising, but doing these things with people you enjoy being with, eating foods that are healthy but that still satisfy you. So there are things that create balance, both on the health side and on the satisfaction side, so that you're doing the things that you want to do, but you're doing them in a healthy way.
It's amazing what a walk outside will do for your mental state.
And we've got perfect weather these days to do that.
That is true. I know if you're a snow lover and you're hoping for snow for the Christmas time, you know, at least the 40, 50-degree weather, you can get outside and not freeze to death. Let's talk about cinnamon applesauce. And there are a lot of reports out there that some samples they're testing extremely high when it comes to lead levels. Now, is it the cinnamon that's the issue here, or do we not really know?
Well, it seems to be the cinnamon in these cases. And the companies that are making these cinnamon applesauces were finding different parts of the world to import their cinnamon from. And depending on how the cinnamon was processed or was grown, some of it is grown in soil that's high in lead, but they've seen these high levels of lead show up in the cinnamon applesauce, sometimes 2,000 times greater than what is considered the standard of 2.5 parts per million. They're seeing somewhere between 2,000 and 5,000 parts per million in these applesauces, which has caused at this point about 70 kids under the age of 6 to report with illness.
We have the brands that are in question here that are circulating on the screen. So if you're watching at home and you're a parent and you're thinking, wait, does my cinnamon applesauce have these issues? These are the brands that the FDA has deemed having these higher levels of lead. But it's very interesting. I mean, it all comes down to where things are grown. Really quickly, before we let you go, a lot of people, they're making cookies, and there's a big concern about salmonella in certain Quaker oat products. And we have detailed information on the product lot numbers that are affected here. You can find those on our website. But run through with me, if you don't mind, what symptoms would appear if someone, especially a child, contracts a salmonella infection?
They're usually GI symptoms, and so most commonly you'll see diarrhea or vomiting, especially in these kids that get exposed to salmonella. It's usually very treatable with fluids, but in certain cases, people can get quite sick and they have to go to the emergency room or the hospital to get intravenous fluids to help fight off this infection.
Is there any difference, really quickly before we let you go, between, you might just think you have the stomach bug or your child has the stomach bug when in fact it could be a salmonella infection. Is there a way to tell, or not really?
There's not really a very good way to tell. A lot of it has to do with the companies putting out reports like this where there's concern so that they can circulate it, let people know that this is a possibility, and then really observe for the symptoms. If the diarrhea is unrelenting or if the vomiting continues for more than a day, there might be something more going on than just the flu bug, and you might need to get checked out.
Dr. Bill Hartman, we always appreciate it. Thank you. And we do have all of those products on our website for the parents who are at home or the people who are at home just wanting to know, wait a second, do I have that in my cabinet? Merry Christmas to you and your family, Dr. Hartman.
Great. Thank you. And same to you.
Thank you.